Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Super Anime Bros podcast. As always, I'm your host, Rosario, joined by my brother, Angelo. And today we're going to talk about something we love.
Welcome back, everybody. And we figured it's just about time to finish our Quintessential Quintuplets deep dive.
As promised.
I think part one went really well. We got to talk a lot about some of our favorite, all our favorite characters and different character traits we like about them. And now it's time to talk about our favorite moments. That'll probably take up the full episode, to be honest.
I would think so. That seems to be the plan.
Actually, before we start, we did end up going to a con yesterday, and we met some of the dub actors for some of these characters, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, without a doubt, and pretty timely with us being where we are in the podcast. I thought that's pretty cool.
It put me in quite the quintuplets mood.
That's good. That's good. I would totally agree. It was fun getting to talk, and I'm excited to talk about some of these moments. Like, this is obviously a show that we both have pretty high up on our lists. And it packs a lot of good stuff into, 24 episodes in a movie? So,
and then a couple specials.
Yeah, for sure. But, I mean, there's, afterward,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of good stuff to talk about. So, why don't we get right into it?
All right. So, I think these are pretty much all in chronological order.
Yeah, I was just figuring that myself.
And obviously, I will issue a spoiler warning. If you listen to the first episode and you're like, dang, I really got to check that show out, do that now before you listen to this one, and then come back after.
Yeah, I think that's...
So you can hear about some moments.
That's a fair warning. Yeah, we'll certainly let it all out here in this part 2 episode, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to start, though, in Season 1. And we'll start with the first, big event. I know we already talked about how he ended up in this predicament teaching these 5 sisters, so we can skip all that. And we're going to skip to the Summertime Festival. And this starts off with an actually kind of Futuro going on a date with Itsuki. She comes over to his house for his first payday to give him the money from the two tutoring sessions he did. And he asked Raiha what she wants to do, and she's like, I want to go to the arcade.
Hell yeah.
With the two of you.
Mad respect. Oh yeah.
They go on a kind of a date with Raiha.
Yeah.
It's cute. The two of them are kind of getting along a little bit, and Raiha's just happy. They get a picture in a photo booth.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I really like that.
No, I agree. We did say she was the ultimate wingman.
Yeah. Yeah,
starts here right in the beginning.
Well, she just, her.
I don't remember how this led into the festival then.
I can tell you. They're walking home from the arcade date, and then Raiha says, hey, big brother, there's 4 Itskis. Because the rest of them are all on their way to the festival, and they're like, oh, shoot. Are they on a date? So they all end up going to the festival together, including Futuro and Raiha, after he makes all the girls finish their work, which was actually the first time he successfully got them to do schoolwork.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is pretty cool. So
there's definitely some growth there.
I really like the summer festival. I think it only takes place over 2 episodes, but honestly, there's decent moments with almost all 5 of the girls. I put down here that there's some, obviously, Ichika's the main player in this festival.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that.
Yeah, all the sisters get separated, and they're supposed to watch the fireworks when they come on top of this building, because it was a tradition they had with their mom.
Yeah, I think it's cool that this starts to give us some background in their relationship with each other, and kind of the reasons some of them are closed off and not, opening up to Futuro, at least not yet.
Yeah, and of course they all get separated, and Nino's the only one. And Futuro are the only ones who know where this building is that they're supposed to watch them from. So he goes back to try to get them all together. He ends up I think he finds Miku first. Mm-hmm. He carries her around because her foot hurts for a second. And then he finds Itsuki, and Miku's like, oh, don't worry about me. Go after her. Yeah. But then Ichika snags him and pulls him aside and is like, hey, you got to tell the girls I'm not going to be able to make it to the fireworks. One thing leads to another, and then he ends up finding out about her secret job.
Yes, yeah.
Which we did see her previously getting out of a guy's car in the middle of the night. It was kind of scandalous at first. I'm like, oh,
middle of the night?
Yeah, we're not the middle of the night, late at night.
Okay.
But we find out that she's an actress.
Yeah.
So that's big moments with Ichika, and Futaro helps her like face her sisters.
Yeah, and open up about
about her career and be able to apologize for not making it to the fireworks and being able to see that they're willing to forgive that.
Yeah. No, it is pretty cool. Like Ichika at the beginning of the show really comes on strong.
Yeah, there's a lot of good Ichika moments season 1. Like, you could rewatch this show and have, like, an Ichika watch through, and you'd be pretty happy season 1.
Yeah.
So she ends up going to her audition, absolutely kills it after, finding some newfound feelings.
Like inspiration.
Yeah, with Futaro. And then they end up just setting off some little fireworks in the park.
Yes.
Which is really cute. And then the
other
moment I have is that Nino tries to be nice to him for the first time. She's like, I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. She's like, good job today.
Yeah.
She's like struggling hard. Yeah. So and then I guess there's not too much development with the other girls.
No,
it starts off with Itsuki, him going out, and then Raiha hangs out with
Yotsuba.
Yeah, with Yotsuba. Yotsuba's like, hey,
if
I marry Futaro, I can have Raiha as my sister.
It's true. Him with Miku, don't they have the whole little, like, are you guys a couple thing?
Yeah, people, like, ask. And
so there's little moments, I would say, with each of them. But obviously, like you said, Ichika dominates that part. In a good way. I can't say that's always the case when she's, at the forefront of the plot. But here it certainly is positive.
Yeah, I actually don't know if the next one is in chronological order, but the other next one I had was...
I think it is. I don't really remember it too much, but I think it is.
In preparation for the midterms, they're doing a lot more study sessions, and the one day Nino's trying to, like, kick him out, and Ichika comes in clutch and is like, hey, remember you promised we were gonna do, like, an overnight tutoring session, you were gonna stay here. Yeah. No, Ichika makes so much stuff happen early on.
Yeah.
So he ends up staying at the girl's house for a study sleepover type thing, and that's pretty fun. They play Life or I think that's when they play Life.
It must
because they end up not doing any studying. Yeah, because that's when Nino tries to kick him out because they're like they already stopped studying. They're playing Life, but there's a moment there where they're all studying, and he said that he would tell them what kind of girls he likes if they solve problems.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, the three girls who were cooperating at the time, which is Yotsuba, Miku, and Ichika, are, like, trying to find out.
Yeah, they're all, like...
But Nino's, like, listening off to the side.
They're all clearly kind of curious, which I don't think great.
I don't think Itsuki's
Probably
there
not.
at the time.
I mean, that's a pretty constant throughout the show. I mean, we'll talk more about it.
But, yeah, that's pretty great. And then there's, like, a part where they end up... Or Ichika talks to Futaro out on the balcony... And that's, like, a cool moment with her when they, like, go in because he's like, oh, it's cold. And, like, she's all blushing. She's like, I didn't realize it was cold. And then you're like, oh, crap. She does like him.
Yeah. That was quick.
Well, we already skipped, like, episode 2 with the whole Miku thing. She falls pretty early, too.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's the sleepover. There's actually another moment I forgot to write down. A good Yotsuba one, season 1, when Miku... feeds him.
Yes, yeah. I think we have to
overfeeds him croquettes, so he ends up like feeling sick. So he's like on the ground laying. Miku leaves to go get medicine, and then Nino's doing her thing, trying to get them to stop studying.
Yeah, naturally.
And then he's like, "Yo, you got to cover for me," and she's like, "Oh, if he moves, he'll die. He's got some kind of rare disease." And then the girls end up staying. Nino makes him food. She slips on a ketchup bottle, drops it on his face.
Yeah, it's the ketchup bottle that he used to mimic blood.
Fake blood. Yeah, that's just a funny moment. But, it ends up with them all leaving anyway. It just ends up being Futaro and Yotsuba.
Yeah.
And then, I forget what he says, but he says, like, something about how she's always been there. And that he's grateful for that. And then she's like, hey, you know why I help you? And he's like, no. And she's like, I like you. He's like,
no answer whatsoever.
Yeah, like, she's like, oh, I'm just kidding. Because he said that she couldn't lie.
Yeah.
But she proved that she could.
But did she really, though?
I mean, we'll find out later. But I think that's a pretty great moment.
No, I agree. That's one of my favorite with hers early on. I mean, I think we said last week that she's both of our favorites.
Yeah, we did establish that. And then another good moment in the first season is Ichika blackmails him into getting all the other girls' numbers because he has Ichika's, and she has a picture of him falling asleep on her lap because he fell asleep when they were doing the fireworks.
I don't see what's so damning about the photo.
I mean, I don't know. He doesn't want it to spread around between the other girls. I feel like
at
the time, like, Nino and like Itsuki would probably kill him. So, so he has to try to get all the girls' numbers, which, Yotsuba isn't hard to get her number, and same with Miku. And then he gets Itsuki's number by giving her Raiha's number by selling out his sister, and then he gets Nino's number by making her jealous.
Yeah, exactly, because she would miss out on
all their conversations
with her sister.
Which is great.
That is, I once again, like, shows how much she really cares. Oh, they all care, obviously, but for her, it's just different.
Yeah.
That's great. But then,
that later in that episode, too, we end up, or Futaro and Nino end up by themselves because she has his student handbook where he keeps something very private, his secret photo. And then she ends up seeing it, and she's like, oh, who's this cutie? He's my type.
Yeah.
Little does she know that's him a couple years ago when he was a bad boy. He wasn't always a huge nerd.
A little bit of a delinquent, bleached hair, an earring.
Yeah, slick back hair.
Yeah. Slick back hair. You think this is slicked back?
It was pushed back, probably, not slicked back. But, yeah, so she ends up seeing the picture, but she only sees half.
Yeah,
and the other half of the picture is a girl who we find out later in that episode is one of the Quints.
Yes, yeah.
Because they bust out an old album of theirs.
Pretty
but
crazy
he does not
reveal
see that
early on.
If either of them saw the other photos, like if they saw his whole photo or if he saw their
God knows what
photo books, the show would have been a lot shorter. So that makes things interesting because, this girl... I guess I don't know how much I think at that point we know that, like, she's the reason why he, like, made a change in his life.
Yeah, I honestly don't even know if we do. Regardless, like, pretty crazy plot twist here to establish history with one of them.
We just don't know who at this point.
Exactly, and to whom it is has not made it obvious, and he's too dense to realize that it's one of them. So, pretty wild stuff.
Yeah. And then the last big thing that happened season 1 is the first school field trip, because there's one in the second season too. This one is where they go to like a ski resort. You don't remember this?
I'm trying to think. The trip in the second
is where they go to Kyoto.
Oh yeah, and then they also go on their own trip.
To the hot springs?
Yeah,
that's in
there's so many
trips. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I guess
no, you're right. I was, but I'm doing it again for the camera.
Oh, well, the
voice camera.
But yeah,
did I say that before in the podcast? The voice camera. I was talking to somebody about it.
No, I never heard
and
of
I described it. Yeah, I mean it's just me being dumb. But it's a pretty funny way to describe it because if you think about it, it's like you get it what I'm saying, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's it's not a voice camera, but
well, yeah,
it kind of is.
I guess.
Thank you.
But yeah, so they go on their first of many outings.
Yes.
And they go on this school field trip to I don't know where it's at, but to some ski resort, which is pretty exciting, I guess. And Futaro at first is pretty hesitant, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna go," but he does end up going after.
Yeah, because his sister's sick.
Yeah. After Itsuki grabs him and is like, "Hey," because he was supposed to be doing the test of courage at this event, and they were gonna make Itsuki do it. And she's like, "I hate scary stuff, so it's on you."
But also, like, it's made evident how much like excitement he actually did put into this. Like, they showed like the handbook for the trip, and he's like used it a lot and marked a lot of stuff down. Like, this is not something that he has really ever gotten to do with friends, and is like really, really excited about it. And it's kind of like
I
flies
guess
under the radar a little bit, which I think is really cool.
Isn't ready to accept those feelings yet.
Yeah.
But I think it is great. It shows some growth for him,
without a doubt,
which is really nice to see. So the school trip is pretty great. A lot happens.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Honestly, with
a lot happened after I saw that photograph.
With all the girls, there's a little something that happens, so we can do it that way.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll start with Ichika. That happens first.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest.
Yeah. They end up getting locked in a storeroom together after carrying firewood for a big bonfire.
Yes.
And they end up getting trapped there. Oh, before that, of course there's a legend
Naturally.
at this school trip.
There always is.
And there's whoever is, if you're holding hands with somebody at the end of like the big dance the last night, you'll end up together. And a lot of couples have started dating before that. And not going to get into too much of the circumstances, but he ends up having to dance with Ichika because they're supposed to be like fake dating for this guy who likes her.
Yes.
So he says that like, hey, we should call this off. No, that doesn't happen first. I think the stuff with Nino happens before.
Yeah?
Yeah, but we'll do it in just character order. Yeah, because that's when he says he wants to call the dance off because he's also supposed to dance with her.
Oh, yeah, so true,
So yeah, a lot happens with this dance, but he tells Ichika he's going to call it off, and she like starts like crying a little bit.
A lot of it, I think.
A lot of it, yeah. So he's like actually trying to be nice there. He like gives her his jacket and all, and tries to comfort her, and that's how they end up getting locked in the room.
But neither of them really know what it means. She's yet to fully, I think, accept the feelings, and obviously he's got no clue why she's crying.
Yeah, he doesn't know. But they end up, locked in the schoolroom where she reveals to him that she's been debating quitting school, which is, kind of big. Because his job is to try to, teach them. And it is crazy for a high schooler to take a break from school because of acting. But she's, her dream's been coming true. That is her dream, not academic. So I think it's, a cool moment with Ichika. And then they end up trying to break out. And they end up damaging the storeroom.
Yeah.
And, like, the sprinklers go off.
Yep.
And then they're like, she ends up slipping. He catches her like on top of each other, and then Itsuki and Miku find them like that.
Yeah,
quite
a pretty precarious situation.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what ends up happening there with Ichika. But I think that's a pretty cool moment, regardless. There's a moment with Nino too, and it happens during their test of courage. She ends up running away because they get scared. Her and Itsuki get scared. And they end up going the wrong way on this trail and heading towards a precarious cliff.
Dangerous
is what he
cliff.
Says. Yeah,
he says precarious.
Yeah, he does say precarious.
Huh.
But they end up walking towards
going
the wrong way. So he goes to find them, and for this test of courage, he was wearing, for some reason, a blonde wig and a mask.
Yeah, he had like a clown mask on.
I don't know why he had blonde hair for it. I guess he looked different.
Yeah.
So he's still got like half the getup on, and he finds Nino, and Nino thinks that she has found the guy from the picture.
Yes, who he said was his cousin.
She did find, so she thinks that she is hanging out with Futaro's cousin,
she's right.
Kintaro.
She's right in a way.
And she already said that he's her type.
Yeah.
And they end up almost falling, they end up saving each other's lives from the cliff.
It was pretty crazy, like
using his sister's good luck charm.
It's like a pretty dramatic thing to happen in the show.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I'd be like done for the weekend if that happened to me. I would not want to do the rest of the trip.
No, and certainly they do the rest.
They should definitely have more safety measures there besides a sign in the dark pointing away from the cliff. But I think that's a pretty great Nino moment too, because you start to see her, at least open up to somebody and see her more vulnerable side. She doesn't know that it's Futaro, but that's, not the biggest point here. But she does ask him also to dance with her at the fest or at the last night's dance. So that's how he ends up supposedly having to dance with two of them.
Yes.
So that's pretty good moments with Nino. Honestly, like I used to be like Nino kind of sucked first season, but I feel like we've been talking about her a lot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously in the second season we'll get into it and like her growth, and we talked about that last episode. But like, you see the seeds of it in season one, like
when she does clutch up season one and
save
him from losing his job.
Yeah.
By kind of misleading their dad. But yeah, Nina is pretty cool season one. What happens with Miku on the trip? With Miku...
Well, so she sees, obviously, him and Ichika.
she doesn't even like get that bothered by it.
Nah, she's just kind of quiet.
She does stay mostly quiet. There's one moment where they're skiing. They're playing ski tag.
Ski hide and go seek.
Yeah, kind of like tag because you got to tag them.
A bit of both, yeah.
And they end up in an igloo together.
Yeah, it is really cute. Yeah,
and that's pretty cool. And then she calls Ichika. Well, Miku's really just dealing with her own feelings.
Yes, yeah.
And through the trip, she does, admit that she has these feelings and, and is willing to pursue them from there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, because she calls Ichika up and she's like, hey, like, what does it mean to like somebody and all? And she's like, hey, he has 2 hands. We can both dance with him at the dance. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then Yotsuba, he does the test of courage with. She helps him out a lot with that because, he's not that great at that kind of stuff. He's really good at studying,
she was very much so gung-ho the whole time about like making sure that they have a trip with no regrets and that like she's, fully supporting him and making sure that he has a great time. Which like we haven't talked about her a ton in season 1. I feel like her development comes a lot later, but like little things like that are kind of what make her, I think, our favorite. Just the overarching, always being there, always being supportive.
She's always been consistent with that throughout the whole season. From the first episode, she was the first one to, help him try to smooth things out with the other girls and get them to come study.
It really can go unnoticed because it's not this big dramatic moment, that some of the other sisters have, and more that we'll talk about. But yeah, I think that that's really worth noting and kind of helps to explain why we like her the best.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah. And she always says that she wants to have no regrets, which I think is pretty cool. And a good motto to live by, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she helps him with the test of courage and has to do it by herself for a while when he runs off with Nino. And she takes him out to help him learn how to ski.
Yeah.
And then they end up playing ski tag, and that's how he ends up with Miku. But yeah, I don't know. She's just always consistently there through the trip, trying to push him out of his comfort zone a little bit, but make sure he has a good time and ends it with no regrets.
No, that's good stuff.
And then with Itsuki, what does he do at the end of the trip? There's some
the whole skiing section I feel like is largely hers.
The one night before though, they end up being late to the trip because they get separated from the school because he was running late.
Yes.
So then there's like a huge blizzard on the way, so they end up staying the first night actually at the same hotel but in a different room. So all the girls and him have to stay in one room.
Yes. I forgot this was on this
the
trip,
night after it happens, Ichika is like walking around and she like looks in the room after like is coming back into the room and she sees one of the girls hovering over him.
Does, you mean?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Itsuki sees one of the girls who we find out is Ichika is like hovering over him, like looks like she's about to kiss him.
Yeah.
So that whole trip, Itsuki's really just trying to figure out what the deal is.
Yeah, like what the heck's happening.
Yeah. She's playing detective.
Yeah.
And then she ends up going undercover as Ichika because she just like doesn't know how to, behave around him right now.
Yeah.
With that whole thing going on,
Yes.
and then he's able to see through her disguise, and then he like faints on her while they're on a ski lift because he's been sick. He caught Raiha's sickness.
Yes, and he's been pushing himself.
Yeah, so then he ends up spending the end of the trip in
bed.
Yeah, sick in bed, very sick. We actually end up finding out later, but
he's
all messed up, and then all the girls feel bad about how the trip turned out, but they find like a journal he was taking of the trip for Raiha of things to tell her, and it seemed like he really did have a good time. So what happens at the end? Itsuki decides she's going to be bold and break into the room he's sleeping in.
Yeah.
I don't know what she really wants, I guess, to talk to him.
Yeah, I guess.
But as she, finds the light switch in the room so she can see and walk around, all the other girls are there too. They all broke in his room.
Yeah, it's a funny moment. They all flip the switch at the same time.
So they're all And the dance ends, and they're all holding one of his fingers.
Yes.
So all's well that ends well with the legend, because that's like a good way to say, oh, we'll know who it is, but they do all of it are holding his hand. So,
no, that's great.
And then at the end of the first season, we get to see the wedding again, and we are no closer to knowing who the hell he's
not
going
at
to
all.
marry.
They make the girl very ambiguous looking.
So I don't know. We're already at like 25 minutes. I don't know if it's a 3-parter or you want to fly through these.
I mean, I don't want to fly through them. Like,
all right.
If you think we should do another small part after this,
I feel like I mean,
we're going to talk about season 2 longer than season 1.
You think so?
Way more stuff happens
in season 2. Yeah, season 1 just has like the.
It's like setup. You know?
I mean, I'm fine doing a third
stuff
part.
Stuff goes down.
Hopefully, you guys are fine listening to a third part.
I don't really have a choice, I don't think. I think that's up to us.
Yeah, I mean, so we have a couple minutes. Is there anything else you want to add about the first season of the Quints?
Man, I'm not really Johnny on the spot.
I'm Johnny on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a whole, like, it's, 12 episodes. I said this at the beginning, but it packs so much in. And the first season, like, we go from how is he going to do this? How is he going to, get them all to be a part of this and actually care and study, to, quickly learning more about each of them. He learns more about each of them. And he learns, like, how to, for lack of a better word, like, be a person a little bit.
Yeah. I think season 1 is just a great setup, and they really do develop so much in that. And I think at a pretty, not like too fast, like enough that development happens, but, a lot does happen in those 12 episodes.
Yeah.
And especially with there being, 6 main characters to juggle. It's
without a doubt, yeah.
They do a very good job. Like, because I find myself comparing this show to the show we're watching right now. They're dealing with the Mikadono sisters as a breeze. Mm-hmm. Because it's a similar setup, Guy has to win over these girls who are all sisters. And it seems like that one's really enjoyable, but I still feel like I like the development in this show better.
Certainly, yeah.
I feel like the Mikadono sisters, like the development in that, it's like 2 episodes in and they all have a crush on him now. But I feel like with them, they're really starting to understand how their feelings are. It just,
Yeah.
I did kind of like in this how there was, varied responses, and it all took them varying amounts of times to come around on them. Because, that's how I feel like it would go down in the real world.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the chances of 5 sisters falling in love with the same guy. Like,
listen, dude, we already went over the statistics of there being
True,
5.
I forgot about that. It was hilarious.
Identical.
That was some
girls.
pretty funny
There's
content.
2 sets in the
I'm
world.
going to pat on my back there a little bit. That was funny.
But yeah, I mean, so we can definitely talk about season 2 moments, and then we can talk about the movie. I think that'll be a pretty full episode.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, anything else? We talked about the con. Oh, we did get to have, I guess, like an anime-adjacent event the other night. We got to go see Otto.
Oh, I was like, what is he even talking about?
Anime-adjacent.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And she's the singer for all the songs in the One Piece Red movie and a couple other new anime openings. So that was pretty cool. It was our first, like, J-pop, J-rock concert. It was cool. I didn't buy a glow stick because they were too expensive, but it's a cool vibe.
I don't think you should, like... I'll talk about the content too. I have thoughts. It was great. But, like, I think calling it a glow stick is underselling it a little bit.
I'm sorry. I light stick.
And,
it was a pretty high-tech stick. Like, it changes colors. They pulse with the music.
To our buddy Matt, I forget where you even were, because you had told him that the glow stick was $80 and you weren't going to pay that. The light stick, excuse me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I never really thought about how much one would be, and there were a lot of people... bring them in. I didn't even think about it. Like,
yeah,
I would have bought one, like a cheaper one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly,
it's something to wave around.
I still felt as though like the other ones that people brought in.
No, there were people bringing out.
For the most part, were like also Otto branded ones
from the
last tour. Yeah.
There was other people without branded ones.
Yeah, I mean, I did. Yeah.
But the colors aren't all exactly the same shade, so you would have been able to tell this guy had an off-brand one.
True. I also like. We were up, like, kind of... I mean, it wasn't really nosebleeds. It's an arena. There's not nosebleeds.
I mean, we were, like, 10 rows from the back.
Yeah, but, like, it's an arena. Arenas aren't that big.
No, it was a good seat.
But like, I feel like the light sticks are better for the people on the floor standing up.
I mean, I enjoyed watching them, so
yeah. Well, what I did think was funny about the light sticks, and I do have thoughts on the concert and all. Was that when somebody was like going ham with the light sticks, like they had two and they were like twirling real fast, they always changed their color to like this specific orange.
Yeah.
I saw 3 different people doing this, and every time they were like orange. Well, like the crowd would all be blue, but these 3 guys are in orange and they're just going nuts.
Yeah, maybe I'm sure there's a lot more.
There must be like a going
we
nuts
don't know
color,
about.
dude.
Yeah, because
it's like you just click the I'm going
like
ham
I was like
button.
surprised because people like would always change the color with the song. I don't know if they. I mean, I guess you had to press a button, but
yeah,
I just like I don't know how it worked. It was really cool. I really liked the lights.
But now that I'm thinking about it, like when people were changing colors, did you see them sifting through a bunch of colors?
Not really. Maybe they.
I feel like somehow it was just connected.
I don't know. I mean, it's an expensive.
It was $80.
So
like
maybe it's more high tech than we thought. Maybe it was a good investment.
And honestly, yeah. Well, that's the thing that Matt had actually said. Like, it would have been a good investment. I went on eBay and like, I think they're more expensive.
Yeah, I don't really need to buy.
I'm not a scalper,
sell,
especially not for I
think they sell
for a white stick. This one's $148 from Japan.
8 sold.
It says Bluetooth light stick.
Oh, so maybe it like connected to something in the show.
110.
That one's
this
normal
is
price.
Not, this is the display holder.
Oh, that's just the
I'm
holder?
not seeing one no normal price.
I don't know.
$80. Yeah, 120.
Yeah.
Ooh, bonus cards. Do you think they came with it?
I think you could like have bought cards.
That's crazy.
At the merch
Oh,
table.
yeah, you totally could.
I just bought a T-shirt, and as did you.
Yeah,
I
it's a
wanted
great
to buy
shirt.
a keychain that they were sold out.
It's a great shirt.
You know.
But yeah, so I thought it was really cool. Like, pretty awesome that we had the opportunity even in the first place. Like that a Japanese artist, is coming here doing a world tour. Like she had like a pretty decent amount of dates in North America.
Yeah, and our show sold out. Like the New York show sold out super quick.
So it was really cool. The band was awesome. Like her music was awesome. She's really, really talented, and it's crazy. Like she screams a lot, and it's insane how she can just do that every night for a world tour.
That's what I said. I wonder what kind of like vocal warm ups and cool downs she does.
But to segue into like our Japan trip, kinda, like hearing her speak in Japanese made me be like, okay, I gotta lock in a little bit with this.
Yeah, like with
learning
those
some
subtitles, like I would just like pick out certain words I heard, and I've been like putting in the work.
You have, yeah. I have not,
and I'm like hearing certain things, like I know what this means.
Yeah, like there were a few phrases where I'm like, I know that one, and then it was like, oh man, I wish there were subtitles.
Yeah, I mean the world does not come with subtitles.
No, it sure doesn't. It's pretty tough.
Well, I'm glad. Yeah, that was
learning languages is hard. But yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yes, we got to hear our first like live anime opening.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
It is pretty electric, I won't lie. And like to keep going with the Japan thing, we booked all of our hotels now, and are really, really starting to plan pretty hard. The trip's only a couple months away, and it's feeling pretty real. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, we'll probably do like a couple episodes about it when we get back. Put up some YouTube videos. Too.
Yeah, for sure.
And I guess we'll have to like pre-record some stuff and release beforehand or during. Okay, I'm glad you agree.
I mean, yeah, I don't really know what you mean by that, but I agree.
Like pre-record episodes of the podcast.
Yeah,
we're not going to record them while we're there.
Yeah,
I mean we could.
It could be like a break.
Yeah, I mean that's where we could end the season.
Yeah,
now we're at episode 21. No, we're like in 23 now, aren't we?
21. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so next week should be the end of the season.
I mean, some seasons are longer than others.
But yeah, regardless, that's exciting. Maybe I'll get my own just light stick going into the Japan trip, or I'll just buy one there. Because the one video we watched today, it looked like they even had like light sticks at like a dark baseball game.
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty
cool. A lot of light sticks.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just underestimated how high tech they are.
Light stick culture in Japan.
Yeah, apparently there's something there. Maybe that's
they're called pen lights.
Maybe that's a future episode.
Yeah. Could be.
It could be an anime/Japan podcast after we get back.
Yeah.
Once we do.
Well, here's a whole YouTube video about the origins and evolution.
Well, there you go.
I mean, there's a bunch of. This is crazy.
I mean, like, yeah, we have like in America when people play like a ballad or like a slow song, they'll like put their phone cameras.
Yeah, or what formerly was a lighter back in the day.
Yeah, a lighter's way cooler.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a light. Yeah, I never do that.
I've never busted out my phone.
Something at a concert.
But like,
honestly,
if I had a light stick at that concert, I would have been waving. I was still like fist bumping because that's fist pumping, not fist bumping.
Yeah.
Because that's that's how I roll, and I was like clapping and stuff. I realized you can't really clap with the light stick because I was watching people try to clap and they were like.
Well, I mean,
I think they have like they might have like those Wii wrist straps.
Yeah,
like a Wii controller.
Another thing about the concert and kind of and what we were talking about there with the phones is that any recording was prohibited, so like people just weren't on their phones the whole time, and I thought that was pretty awesome. I'm like and maybe this is a boomer take, but I'm pretty anti-phone at concerts.
Sometimes I'll record a couple songs. When we were at Metallica, I actually recorded a bit more than usual.
Gotcha.
I do honestly go back and.
Okay. Oh, that's fair. That's
and
fair.
I like for that Metallica show, I bought like the live recording they put on a CD too.
Yeah,
so
that's
I revisit
cool.
those moments a lot.
Yeah. I would never go back and watch the video. I'm not going to show it to anybody. Like, it just...
I probably would have taken like a video or two.
And it takes me out of the moment when I'm there. You know? Mm-hmm. I'd rather see the moment fully live than watch it 15 times over again on my phone later.
Yeah, because you could just look it up online and watch it then. That's not the same thing. So, yeah, I agree about being in the moment. It's a pretty awesome thing, and I certainly was.
Yeah, so that was cool. I also
was in the moment.
I'm not really a concert sitter, you know? The last two concerts, Metallica and Otto, two sides of the same coin, really. We sat the whole time.
There was a lot of people wearing Metallica shirts at that concert.
There were a few.
That's all I'm going to say.
Certainly a few. More than one. I'm just like not like I like to like be up and like in it. I don't know.
I was vibing in my seat like.
It's just
around,
it feels weird kind of like dance in my seat. I don't know.
I just vibe. I feel like it's different if you're like on the ground level at a concert. If you're in like in a stadium,
I think back
like
to
I wouldn't have felt, and that was those like that aisle you had to walk on was very dangerous. If we were standing, I would not have been dancing because you make one wrong step and then you got a broken ankle.
That's fair.
Because you fall on somebody in the row in front of you.
I've been to two concerts.
Then you all go down like dominoes and
Citizens Bank Park in Philly, and stood for both of them like in a stadium. And it was great.
You'd rather stand?
Yeah,
I mean, you could have stood up. There was people standing.
I'm not going to be the one guy standing up.
Well, you would have started.
Plus, because
the people behind you would have to stand
I only
up.
know like a half to a third of the songs. Like, I have to be real into it to stand and dance. But like, I just prefer that, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, fair enough. I prefer not killing my feet, so
that's fair. I
would have been fine like if we
like
stood up, but like those outdoor venues where you got to stand like the whole time. Like we waited for like an hour in our seats before it started. That kind of would have sucked to have to stand that whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you stand all day at work, right?
I walk around and move at work. And
that's fair.
I'm not just standing in one spot.
In one spot, that's a little more annoying. I think that's fair. But yeah, that's what's going on.
It didn't end up even being a short episode. It's fine. We wouldn't have had enough time to talk about season 2 and the movie. It would have been like an hour long plus
candidly,
episode.
I think that's good podcasting, like talking about our experiences and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we could even, start to morph the podcast into that more once
we've done the list,
of different topics. We could start to just do, weekly updates. And, I've said it a couple times, a lot of podcasts are people just like chit-chatting, but we do a lot of that.
Already.
Not on camera, not video recording or audio recording because we're brothers. But we could definitely save more of that banter about different shows and stuff for the podcast.
Yeah, no, that's
let us know
true.
if that's something you guys want.
That's certainly true. I don't think they're going to let us know.
They never do.
But we'll keep saying it. Maybe one day they will. I think that's what we got for the week. We'll be back with our part 3 to kind of wrap up the plot and our favorite moments. Until then, have fun.
See you guys.
I couldn't think of what to say. I was going to be like, stay safe, have fun.
Bye.
Peace. Something like that. All right, bye.